it's Shay. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in again. So I got a lot of requests, surprisingly, asking me how do I budget and how do I stay, I guess, frugal. And I don't even consider my lifestyle frugal. Honestly, I don't know if you guys watch me in my other videos, but it very simply boils down to if there's something I really think that I need or something that I want, I will go out and work or go out and do what I need to do to get what I need. But there's also ways to save. There's also ways that we have to, you know, just stay on top of our finances. So I'm not a financial expert anyway. My credit score is not perfect. My budgeting history is not perfect, but I kind of wanted to sit down because I got a lot of questions about this and just give you guys some tips and tricks on how I try to save money and how I try to budget. So if you guys are interested in this, again, not a budgetnista, not a financial advisor or anything like that, just some tips from a regular schmegular girl out here trying to, you know, get this coin. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We'll jump right into it. Okay guys, so I wrote down my 4 tips and things that I use to kind of save money. So 2019 has been a budget type of lifestyle for me. I really got into like trying to save money because I just seen where, I don't want to say where my life was, but I seen what I wanted in life, and I knew in order to get there I would have to do better with my spending habits and with my saving habits. So some things that I kind of started in 2019, the first thing I mentioned is multiple streams of income. So if many of you guys don't know, I am a registered nurse, and while my pay from my primary job is comfortable, there's no reason why working 3 days a week I can't spare a couple other days to make some more money. So what I've been doing, most of you guys know in my lifestyle update, is I actually acquired a second income and I'm working another job, and that was home care. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to be a nurse to acquire multiple streams of income. All you have to do is be motivated. So I have been working at least 2, if not more, jobs since I've been like 18. At one time in my life, I remember I was working 3 jobs and going to college. So it's possible. You do have to learn how to balance your time, but you can do it. But I always recommend multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income don't even have to be all jobs. Sometimes, like for instance, I'll give you guys a quick example. I just got a check yesterday from my city, my board of my city, and this was for participating in elections. I took 1 day out of my week for like the general election, and I actually worked the election and I got a paycheck for that. And one, it's very like refreshing because you're doing something out of your element, you're networking with different people, a different group of people, and you're also making money from it. So if there's any way, I would strive and tell you guys, just be mindful that your career is not your only way you can make money. Anyone who is familiar with entrepreneurship, I give you guys so much props. I really want to become a business associate or a business owner in the future. We'll see where God leads me, but I feel like that is a great way to get a stream of income. I know many of you guys, like I said, a part-time job, even if it's something simple. There have been times when I've thought about like going out and just getting like a part-time job in a store or at Amazon or things like that, just because I know I have free time and I can make money. So that is always my first biggest tip to people on if you want to make more money. Yeah, you got to put in a little bit more work, but why not? Multiple streams of income is great. You don't have to burn yourself out in one place doing the same thing all the time. You find different ways to, you know, make money. The second thing I have on here is multiple accounts. So let's check into this real quick, guys, and let me tell you what I do, because I'm not afraid to just put this out here. I have 2 bank accounts, and if you're not interested in getting 2 bank accounts, there is another way you can do this. So let's talk about me first. I have 2 bank accounts. I use Bank 1 and Bank 2. Bank 1, all my paychecks, all my income goes to. When I get paid, it's payday. Majority of my check goes there. I use Bank Account 1 specifically for bills and for gas. Those are the 2 main things. Bank Account 2, which also consists of a checking and savings account, is 10% of my income. So every time I get paid, every other Thursday, 10% of my check goes to Bank Account 2. Bank Account 2, I then move a portion, so about I split that 10% in half. So 5 of it goes to the savings account and bank account too, and the other 5% is left there as spending money for myself. And we will talk more about this in my third tip. But this is another way I find myself saving money. So not only am I able to allot myself an allowance, like I'm only allowed to spend this amount of money in 2 weeks, but I'm also saving from that, and I'm also setting aside where I pay bills. Surprisingly, in a perfect world, my whole paycheck does not always go to bills. That's occasionally. Sometimes it does. But I have that account set aside. Like, nothing else can touch it because my bills are my priority. If nothing else get done, if I don't eat a French fry this week, my bills got to be paid. And that's just the way I grew up, and that's just the way I see it. So, bank account 1, bills. You can have your rent come out of there. You can have your car payment, your insurance, bills. Bills, bills, bills. And then bank account 2, it doesn't have to be 10%. Whatever you feel like the percentage, enough for you to have an allowance and enough for you to even save some chump change. Even if it's like $10 or $15 per paycheck. Whatever you feel is sufficient for you. You always want to have some type of little saving somewhere. Because you always want to have like an emergency fund. Like, you don't know what will happen. Your car can break down. Anything can happen. And you need like some way of having some little money on the side. So that goes into step 3, which I want to tell you guys is allow yourself budgeting. So when you budget, allow yourself to meet goals, but also allow yourself to treat yourself. I feel like this is so important because sometimes when people budget, and don't get me wrong, if you're like really going for something like, I know, a house, a car, things like that, you will like say, okay, for the next 6 months, if it ain't bills or it ain't like a necessity, it's not going to be bought. But I think when you allow yourself to be treated at certain like little points in life, it'll keep you from doing those big expenditures. So for instance, like I told you guys, I take part of my check and part of it is an allowance. I can spend that money on whatever I want, and the other half goes to savings. That way, if I'm treating myself little by little, I'm not going out and doing like big splurges. And also, say one time I'm like I have allowance and there's nothing I really want, I can put that money back and like buy something I want at the end of the month. So like say I wanted like a new iPad, I can take my little allowance every week and not spend it, and then by the end of the month I can go buy that iPad instead of buying like lipsticks one week and this like that. So you kind of have to know what you're working towards, but also don't cut yourself short. I feel like when you budget, you can budget, and I understand a lot of people, the way their income is in today's society, your income is your bills and that's what it is. But even if it's like a little, like a small thing of french fries or an iced coffee, treat yourself somewhere. You deserve that. That's what's going to motivate you also to keep budgeting. Okay guys, the last thing I want to talk about is something quite simple, but something a lot of people I found out did not know about until I told them. So, a lot of us have old clothes, old shoes, old books, old, electronics sitting around the house. Sit around the house collecting dust. We don't use them no more. We didn't got the latest gadget. We didn't got big like me, and I don't even wear half the size of my clothes anymore. You can sell this stuff online for, of course you're not going to charge people exactly what you paid for unless it's brand new, but you can sell it at a discount price, and it will actually save you from just like, you know, stuff back in the closet, collecting dust, etc., etc. So the 2 things I have come across are Poshmark and Mercari. So Poshmark is more for like clothes, shoes, purses. I've sold a lot of things on there, guys, and I made a good amount of money, and like I'm not going to wear it anyway, but like just selling it even discounted price, like if I'm not going to wear it, even if I can make $1 from it, I'll go ahead and sell it for like $1 or $5 just so it's not sitting around and just going to waste. Mercari is really good for electronics. I actually purchased my vlogging camera off of Mercari. I wish I kind of would have looked into that before I got my regular camera because they have good deals on there. I've sold phone cases on there. I've sold a camera on there before. I've sold clothing, perfumes, a lot. So if you guys ever need some, like I talk about multiple streams of income, some of them are sitting right in your house, right in your room. Now don't go selling like your sister or your brother's shoes or nothing like that. But take into consideration, most of the time if you haven't worn anything in a year, you're not going to wear that. So hop on Mercari, hop on Poshmark to make sure your stuff is up to par. You don't want to sell something that's dingy, it got stains and all that stuff on it. But if it's something like, instance, I have tons of stuff in my closet, tags on it, I bought it like during the summer, I'm not that size no more, I will just go ahead and sell it. And sometimes I'll even sell it for discounted what I paid for it, because I just want to get rid of it, and it's an extra way to have money, so you really can't beat that. Alright guys, we have reached the end of the video. So basically what we talked about here is how to get your money up, how to, even in a crazy society, find ways to make and save money. So we talked about multiple streams of income, we talked about budgeting, we talked about other ways, like I told you guys, Mercari, Poshmark, things like that. And then we also talked about setting up accounts where you can also save along with paying your bills and everything like that. So if any of these tips have helped you guys, I'm grateful. If you guys have any tips, of course, leave them down in the comment box below. I really do have like an interest in budgeting. I'm not a budgetnista. Don't worry guys, I'm not about to like go too crazy on my channel with a new niche, because you guys know I have too many as it is. But it is something that I do believe can help, like we can help each other out by sharing our tips and things like that. I do follow some great budgetnistas. I can leave them down in the description box below. Shai Budgets. I also follow Erica Life Vlogs, and I also follow Michelle, some great people on YouTube. So if any of you guys need like information on how to set up a budget or anything like that, I can put their channels down below in the description box so you guys can check them out. I know some people were asking me if I can share my own budgeting tips here on YouTube. Right now, I don't see that as being beneficial. Like I told you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not like the queen of budgeting. But if it's something you guys want to see, it wouldn't, like, I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm not, like, it wouldn't hurt. So just let me know. But I'll put those girls down in the description box below, because I know they are like the queens of budgeting. Anywho, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys' support as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on your way out, and I will see you guys in the next video.